Let's check out a little bit of Meghan Markle's interview with Mariah Carey. We're just gonna look at the highlights. There's some sensitive topics. I'm gonna mostly avoid those, and the aim is gonna be more to comment on the speaking and communication styles.
If there's any time in my life that it's been more focused on my race, it's only once I started dating my husband.
All right, the only thing I'll say about that is Meghan's story changes because many times she's talked about her whole life experience was all about her ethnicity, her race, and now it's a different story, and that it only happened when she entered the royal family because she's trying to make a different point. So her life story constantly changes depending on what story she wants to tell. The facts don't really matter very much. I'm not commenting on what is or is not true, but it's really tough for both to be true, two opposing experiences that are really the opposite.
Making royal confessions with Mariah Carey.
Until then, I had been treated like a mixed woman, and things really shifted.
But that's an interesting thing, a mixed woman, because I always thought it should be okay to say I'm mixed.
All right, right there, Meghan Markle's doing her thing. I was treated as this. And that's a thing that's like popular nowadays. Like as a man, as a woman, it's like these catchphrases, treat as this, as that, and it's very much about identity. I'm not saying identities don't exist or people don't have different experiences, but on the flip side, Mariah Carey, she's talking about I feel, and she sounds a lot more loose, not wooden. Basically, she's talking from real thoughts and real experiences rather than just repeating catchphrases, which is literally worthless. Because if I've heard a catchphrase said 10 times, if one person says it one more time, that is no new information. So that's literally worthless. Whereas hearing Mariah Carey's real, genuine opinions and experiences, that's an actual conversation. Number one, I have that free How to Spot a Lie course linked below. Get it for free. Number two, post what videos you want me to react to. I actually have trouble figuring out what to react to, but I like making these videos and people seem to like them. So tell me topics, tell me videos, link them, and I'll react.
Singer's the latest guest on Meghan's Archetypes podcast. And the two get real about growing up biracial, sharing how hard it was to fit in.
I didn't fit in anywhere at all. I remember being in school in this predominantly white neighborhood where my mom felt comfortable, and I tried my best to feel comfortable, you know?
I think for us it's so different because we're light-skinned. You're not treated as a black woman. You're not treated as a white woman. You sort of fit in between.
So similar stuff there. First of all, a thing that's cool with Mariah Carey is you notice she says it a few times when she's talking about being mixed race. She sounds positive, and now she's talking about being uncomfortable. So her experience and opinions are nuanced. They're not all or nothing. A lot of these popular political media ideologies, they spread because they're all or nothing. All or nothing makes it really easy to think us versus them, the non-believers are bad, and that taps into a natural human instinct, which is tribalism, like non-believers. We've seen this, unfortunately, in like every single culture. It turns into really bad things. So Meghan then makes it general, like us people who are this identity, this is what we experience. She's not talking about her own experience, and it's all or nothing. People of this identity experience that, people of that identity experience that. And again, I can't comment on what they've experienced, but we can say for sure that the world is not all or nothing. There are people of every background who have been abused as children, who've gone through horrible things. There are people of every background who've had great childhoods. So you can't just look at someone and know exactly what their experience is.
A black mother and a white father recalls how her blackness became such a focus when she started dating her now husband, Prince Harry.
If there's any time in my life that it's been more focused on my race, it's only once I started dating my husband. Then I started to understand what it was like to be treated like a black woman, because up until then I had been treated like a mixed woman. And things really shifted.
But that's an interesting thing, a mixed woman, because I always thought it should be okay to say I'm mixed. Like, it should be okay to say that, but people want you to choose.
Yes.
The Duchess of Sussex.
So that was cool right there. Again, Mariah Carey, she is giving real information. It's her real opinion. I'm I mean, technically, it depends, my background, but I don't look like I'm mixed race, though my family's from multiple places, so I don't really know that experience. So when she's telling me people want you to choose, and she feels this way and that way, I'm actually learning from that. That's a real open conversation, rather than when Meghan is spouting kind of ideological things that are all or nothing. The other thing too is, I get crazy comments on this channel, like anything that I say about Meghan Markle, some of these people will be like, oh, it's because of her race or whatever. And like, things aren't all or nothing. Like, all right, Meghan Markle, probably 1 billion people know who she is. Are there racist people out of the billion? 100%. There have to be, right? That's 1 billion people. There are probably tons of racist people out of 1 billion. But it's like this idea that it's impossible to dislike her or anything she did and it to not be about her race. I know a lot of people dislike Meghan who thought she was Caucasian because, I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but a lot of people looking at her have no idea what her background is. So that's pretty much all I'm saying. That it's kind of funny because I get those crazy comments. Hopefully this isn't too sensitive topics. I'm more just talking about the psychology, which is the communication styles and the all or nothing thinking versus the more genuine thinking that you see from Mariah Carey.